Okay, here we go. We're getting ready to go off on an adventure in our 1991 Jeep YJ. We've decided we're going to take a few adventures in this thing and see what we can find. So today we're exploring State Line Road between Missouri and Kansas. That's right, Kansas City, Missouri, and there's Kansas City, Kansas. And don't forget that, folks, because every time I hear people say the Kansas City, Kansas Chiefs or the Kansas City, Kansas Royals, they're the Kansas City, Missouri Royals, the Kansas City, Missouri Chiefs. Yes, Kansas has a speedway. Okay. Anyway, we're going to drive down State Line. We're south of the river, south of the Missouri River. We're going to head as far south as we can and see how far State Line Road goes. To our left, or to the east, is Missouri, and to the west is Kansas. We're starting out here at Chester Avenue in Eaton. This should be in Kansas City, Kansas. But just as soon as we get up the road, this is where we can first find State Line Road, south of the river. And when we get up on State Line Road, we're going to be splitting right down the two states. So we're going to keep going and see how far we can get. I think there's going to be some breaks along the way, but see how far south State Line Road is in the metropolitan area of Kansas City, Missouri / Kansas City, Kansas. Be back in a bit. Well, we've made it to 95th Street and State Line. It's 4-lane now, and we're still headed south, so we'll see what happens. We're continuing the journey on State Line. State Line so far has been continuous from 35th Street to 135th Street. We decided to stop for lunch at McDonald's, got ourselves a sandwich, and now we're getting ready to head south, but we find that State Line ends right here. It was a straight through shot from 35th Street to 135th Street. Now we're going to be getting on Kenneth Road, and we're going to explore out that way and see if we can find out where State Line picks up again. We're on Kenneth Road now at just south of 135th, actually past 143rd Street. Hello. And up to our left is Missouri. The state line's right over there. Up over some railroad tracks. We're actually in Kansas now. The state line just turned into Kenneth Road. Now, if we turn left here at 151st Street, we will be headed back toward Missouri. However, the road is closed, and I can tell you why. This bridge at 151st Street that connects Missouri to Kansas, it used to be just a rickety old one-lane bridge, wooden. You couldn't even get across it, and we finally closed it down, and it's been closed for years, and they're finally starting to get back to work on it and going to fix it so you can eventually get back to Missouri. But I believe right about here is the Missouri-Kansas state line. And there's, okay, this side of the bridge is Kansas, and the other side is Missouri. It's been closed for years, and they're finally getting back to work on it. Yeah, I'm okay. Kenneth Road, 159th Street, straight ahead. If we turn here, we stay on Kenneth Road, but we're still in Kansas 75th and Kenneth Road. And this is the first place that cuts back over to the east, where we will be able to pick up State Line Road again if the map's right. So, left turn, Clyde. And State Line should be 2/10 of a mile down the road. Okay, we are at
State Line 175th.
State Line 175th. So it wasn't a continuous path from down there in KCK, in Kansas City, Missouri, State Line. But it does start over again, stops at 135th, and picks up again at 175th. So now we'll continue down State Line Road at 175th Street. Road closed. And now we're back at Kenneth Road. So I don't know what happened to State Line, but we'll see what this is up here. Keep heading south. Street sign ahead. Ah, State Line. Right now we're in Kansas. Now we're in Missouri. Now we're in Kansas. Okay, that leg took us to 271st Street in State Line, as you can see in the picture. But it went no further at that point. It ended up being a private drive that went on down there, so we had to turn around and started heading. Now we're on 267th, so we had to backtrack a few blocks and start heading to the east. And we're in Missouri now, and we're gonna try to find if we can pick up State Line again by heading a little south and cutting back over. So anyway, we made it to 271st and State Line, and it ended. And now we're on 267th, headed east in Missouri. We'll see if we can find more of State Line to the south. Out to D, which is the same as Holmes, and so now we're headed south on Holmes, or they call it D out here. So we crossed back into Missouri, but there was no State Line across that road, so we're going to keep going south and cut back over to the west here in a little bit. I think we can go across to hit State Line again. Okay, we're going to head west on 2 and see if we can find State Line. I don't know if it exists out here, but we're going to try to find it. Okay, we're still in Missouri, headed west on 2, which turns into 68. Is that right, Cheryl? We're 68, 2, and we're looking for State Line. Hoping that it'll pick back up again. We got a street coming up here, heading to the south, does not go north, and it is State Line. State Route 2 and State Line. We're headed south again, so we're back on State Line Road again, and we are 29 miles from where we began. 29 miles. Third and State Line, and we're coming to a junction where we have to turn back to the... If my GPS is right, it looks like it's going to take us back to D again. We ended up being on 289th Street now, and headed back into Missouri where we found that guy's house for State Line in it. And we're back at State Road D, 289th Street. And which D is the same as Holmes in the Kansas City area. So we're heading south again. Places to head back to the west. We're coming up on A, which will take us into Drexel. So we're going to go into Drexel. There's a Casey's store down here, and stretch our legs a bit and take a look at the map and see if we missed anything, or if we can find out where State Line is out here in Drexel. Hopefully we can find some more of a State Line out this far south. Anyway, we'll be back in a bit. We stopped at Casey's. Use the bathroom.
Take the next left onto Industrial
Got a
Drive.
candy bar, looked at the map. And out here in Drexel, we found out we need to go this way. We will pick up some more
Half a mile, head
of the State Line.
Car. I see it.
Okay, now we're in Missouri, at Drexel. Off of A and B, headed west. It's called Industrial Road or something. It's going to take us down to the State Line. This little stretch right here is State Line. So you look to the right, there's Kansas. Look to the left, there's Missouri, and that's Drexel, Missouri. Coming up on a street sign here. And there it is. 351st Street and State Line. Looks like we're leaving State Line in Drexel again. Headed east, and we're back in. Let's see, this is called
State Street.
State Street. Maple and State Street in Drexel, so I don't know if it's the State Line or not. I just bet these are Missouri addresses on both sides. We were in Drexel on State Street, headed south, and we came to where we got to turn left or right, so we're going to turn right. This is ETHEL, Ethel, and State Line Road. So we're going to go south.
Except this is Northwest 14781.
we're at 391st and State Line. We kept going south and we found more State Line after we that last stop. So we're gonna keep going south. Oh, look there. There's a sign over here. Missouri State Line.
Yep.
Missouri State Line. And that is Y Highway. County Highway Y, I can see up ahead. But you know what? I'm not ready to go back yet. We're gonna keep going south. 399th and State Line. We're sitting here right now, 399th and State Line. And the road curves to the west into Kansas onto 399th, and it looks like State Line ends. So 399th State Line, you got to turn on State 399 to the west. So that looks like that's it. According to my map, I do not see anything labeled State Line. There may be some roads that go along the border of Kansas and Missouri, but none that are called State Line past this point that I can see. So we're going to turn around and head back, but we've made it in 44 miles. In 44 miles, we made it from 34th, 35th and State Line to 399th and State Line. And I forgot to see what time it was we left 35th Street. I know we left home today about 11, but it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and we did it. So again, this is Greg and Cheryl and R91 YJ Jeep Wrangler.
Signing off.
Signing off. It looks like the vultures are circling. Hope they're not trying to tell me something. Maybe I'd better check the oil on the Jeep.